despite this old Mercedes van being hidden from the winter elements in a small industrial unit at an undisclosed location, it's still got the potential to blindside us with some rusty surprises. The Land Rover Alpine windows custom grafted into the roof still look great, like energy giving great. And yeah, surface rust is showing up where the spray job is inconsistent, like a highlighting marker, except a really expensive, laborious one. But things are about to level up, and a little surface rust is going to be the least of the problems. Now don't act like you didn't know. Actually, if you really don't know, go back and see the scuttle repair on this van in episode 76 for a treat. But when the glass came out of the Sprinter's front end, you were warned. The hack job some lazy fitter had done when bonding in what was a replacement screen would come back to haunt the project. See, bonding adhesive used between glass and vehicle body needs a properly prepared surface, or else it won't adhere to the window frame and water will get behind. And that's exactly what happened to this van. Lack of prep meant that water was running down the inside of the glass, disappearing behind the dash, and hey, out of sight, out of mind, right? And sneaking its way through any little gaps it could find under the rubberized floor covering. It was pooling under the seat bases and in the footwells. This guy's hoping it's just created some more surface rust that can be brushed back, prepared and primed, but it could go either way. So the next job on the Mercedes Sprinter van is to strip the cab in search of water damage under the seats. In Ireland, one of the defining elements of a camper where vehicle classification is concerned is a walk-through cab, but that doesn't mean the decision here was a foregone conclusion. What's really put the nail in the bulkhead's coffin is the comfort and ease of a walk-through cab. And the flipping weight of this passenger seat base, it's a proper fat bastard. Likely because it carries the middle seat's belt in a reinforced tower and has to anchor the whole lot. So it's got to go. Space in this unit is tight, by the way. That's an understatement. This is why everything on the passenger side of the van gets done before I reverse it in and take a run at the driver's side Alpine windows. Rust comes in colours, like a scale almost, that starts from fresh, dull metal, runs through bright orange flash oxidation and goes all the way to black pitted steel. That's just a hole that hasn't become self-aware yet. A wise man at Delta Auto Body once told me, if it's black, it's coming back. And you know when something rhymes, it's definitely fact. So the only thing to do when you wire brush or sand back rusty metal and it stays black is to surgically remove that rot and weld in fresh steel. It's crunch time then. Let's find out what we're dealing with. So, on the rust spectrum, we're way down, the wrong end. And this is called overdue oil change, carbon under the fingernails that won't go away for days. Black. The water has gotten as far as the bulkhead and wicked along it between its base and the floor. So to get to the cab floor repairs easily and to assess the floor under the bulkhead, it's got to come out. Mulling over the type of cab you're going to go for in a camper build is a big one. See, a bulkhead can impact a number of key requirements in your build. You're not listening to an expert here, but you're getting told anyway. Think about road noise. Van's drum. That's the hollow din created by the rear walls and roof wobbling and echoing off each other when underway. And it's become the done thing to glue heavy bitumen or rubberized sound deadening all over the inside panels of the rear end to kill the noise that invades a walk-through cab. But in a van this big, we're not shy on space, so isn't it better to save money and wait by leaving the bulkhead in and keeping the noise out? That means no expensive soundproofing, or less of it anyway, and just as crucially, less weight. Because those sound deadening materials are dense and heavy. And if weight hasn't been a real concern for your camping conversion, it should be. It's easy to get close or even exceed a van's gross vehicle weight while adding all your mod cons. It's a mistake that'll make a big difference to the usability of a camper, so anything you can do to remove weight is winning. But you still have bulkhead options. You can still have a bulkhead and a walkthrough. Anyway, what's happening here is just a little prep on the rivets to make drilling the heads off them easy. See, the aluminium head will drill out like butter, but if the steel pin inside is sticking out further than you need to drill in, it'll make the job take much longer and potentially blunt the tip of your bit. So knocking the pins inward with a punch and a hammer takes the pain out of the job. This is the sickener. This is the sharp shard of bone stuck in my craw. The underbody of this van looks so good. And it'd be a barefaced lie to gloss past the fact that it looked even better when it first parked up on the coast. It's a heartbreaker, but to do this right there has to be some sections of floor cut out. So because some guy phoned it in way back and did a half a job, this guy is forced to hack up what would have been a pretty original van. There are many, many things that'll drain your time and prolong a resto. Loss of motivation, parts back order, research, low funds, or lack of tools. So there's no need to add sulking to that list. Push on. So, we've a plastic fuel cell here that's right where we don't need it. That's going to need some protecting. Straws must be grasped at. What about an exploratory little sample cut to see if hope beyond hopes this might be thick enough steel to wear pitting as heavy as it's showing? Well, typically it does look pretty good, but if it's black, it's coming back, remember. If the bad patches aren't sorted now, they'll just rear their ugly heads down the line. Nothing worse than wishing later that you'd just gone all in the first place. Nope, we're gonna have to get at all of this. Oh, come on. You're ruining my buzz. Ooh, a crayon. This is a perfect time to use some cardboard aided design to show you my vision for this van. So, if we go for the general shape. Oh, I broke my crayon. It'd be something like this. It's a rocket ship. There's me in the front, and there's the rear lights, and they're really bright. Yeah, we love that, don't we? What do you reckon? I think it's fairly obvious which side of the floor the water was mainly running down. It's kind of rough over there, and I'm going to have to turn the van around to get in on it properly. No way I'll do a good enough job going from this side. So tune in next time when I tackle that. We still, by the way, have to do the glass on the other side of the roof, some repairs to the rear doors, one down the side here, and maybe we've got a few problems in the rear of the floor at the very back of the van, but I haven't peeled it back yet. I'll leave you with this. Think very, very hard before you take on the restoration of a van. I'll also be unboxing a secret new part. It's a single passenger seat base. But I'm not telling you about the harpoon gun idea. As ever, my patrons keep me afloat, and I want to say a big thank you to Nathan Flickinger, Peter Magnuson, Sergei Shiriev, Greg Cope, Thomas Farrington, Damien Kelly, Nick Matlock, Pedro Barreto, Sig Emutus, Gabardine Suit, Smulkman, Matt Sayers, Matt Niewenhuisen, Paul Bishop, Kevin Derbyshire, Michael Keeney, Jordan Gould, Shed Labs, and Bob Hill. And while things have been very quiet on the channel, patrons have been getting video updates behind the scenes. If that interests you, you can find a link in the description to my website where all the details and ways to support the channel are listed. I'll be back with some more camper van and some other very cool projects ASAP. Until then, good luck.